On the night of the 4th of February 1974, Patricia Hearst was dragged from her apartment in Berkeley, California, half naked, screaming. Gunmen fired dozens of rounds as they took her. She was 19 years old, the granddaughter of one of the richest and most powerful men in America, a kidnapped heiress, a national victim. At least, that's how the story began. 66 days later, security cameras captured something nobody could explain. Patricia Hearst was standing inside a bank, holding a machine gun, helping rob the institution. The kidnapped Patricia Hearst was born on the 20th of February 1954 in San Francisco. She was the third of 5 daughters of Randolph Hearst, heir to the Hearst media empire. She grew up surrounded by privilege, private schools, family estates, a life where by 1974, she was a sophomore at Berkeley, engaged to her former mathematics teacher. By her own later account, she felt restless, unsure of who she was, searching for something more meaningful than the life she had inherited. Then, the SLA was a small radical revolutionary group. They understood that kidnapping Patricia Hearst would guarantee national attention. According to Hearst's later testimony, she was blindfolded, confined inside a closet, kept isolated from the outside world. She described being physically abused, sexually assaulted, and subjected to relentless ideological indoctrination. Hour after hour, day after day, the world she had known was a lie. Her family represented oppression. The SLA represented Human beings do not evaluate information in a vacuum. Remove all competing viewpoints, and the source of information becomes reality itself. Patty had no alternative source of truth. On the 3rd of April 1974, the SLA released an audio recording. America expected to hear a frightened hostage. Instead, they heard a revolutionary. She had adopted a new name, Tanya, and she now supported the cause. 12 days later, she was at the Hibernia Bank. The question was no longer where Patty Hearst was. The question was who Patty Hearst had become. This introduces the second. Most people assume beliefs create actions. Psychology often shows the reverse. When people repeatedly perform behaviors, they adapt their beliefs to match. The more Patty acted like an SLA member, the harder it became psychologically to remain Patty Hearst. Eventually, by September 1975, after 19 months on the run, the FBI finally arrested her. When asked her occupation during processing, she reportedly answered, "Urban guerrilla." Her defense argued she had been subjected to coercive persuasion, a systematic process of psychological domination. The prosecution offered a different explanation. Patty Hearst had opportunities to leave, to surrender, yet she stayed. The longer we remain inside a belief system, the harder it becomes to leave. Not because the doors are locked, but because walking away requires admitting we were manipulated. That psychological cost can become greater than the cost of staying. She served 22 months before her sentence was commuted. In 2001, she was granted a full pardon. She rebuilt her life, and for decades, she... What if victim and participant are not opposites? What if both can exist at the same time? Human psychology rarely works as a binary. The self is not a switch. It is a negotiation between circumstance. Under the right conditions, a person can be manipulated so profoundly that the line between coercion and choice disappears. The jury decided in one day. Psychologists have spent 50 years arguing about it, and the next week on the criminal blueprint. He told his followers that the government was coming, that the only way to survive was to follow him. One final time. 918 people died, Jim Jones and the People's Temple.